Hello my lovely friends and welcome to my journaling ecosystem. I have been so excited to share this video. I'll be going through all of my books that I have used in 2025, going over what worked, what has changed, and my lineup going into 2026. I'll also be sharing some tips as to how to stay consistent with journaling and how to create your own journaling ecosystem. For anyone not familiar with this idea of a journal ecosystem, it's basically just the journals that you use. It's really that simple. A lot of us journalers use multiple journals for different purposes, so building an ecosystem is a system of journaling that works for the purposes that you need it for. You might just need one journal or planner, and so that one book would then be your whole ecosystem. Do let me know in the comments what your journal ecosystem is, or if you don't journal but love watching journaling content, then to be sure to comment which of the books I'm going to share is your favourite. Let's start with the journals that I began 2025 with, as I have changed up my journaling and really gotten into it this year. However, I began the year with just these three. The first is my reading journal. I have been keeping a reading journal for 4 years, I believe now. This is my third journal. I got this dotted notebook from Flying Tiger. It was really cheap, but it held up really well and it suits what I need it for. I am a big bookworm, I read a lot, and I love writing about the books I have read. I'm also quite a crafty, I suppose, person, so I do have these decorative mood board spreads, which I make for books that I love. However, this really isn't necessary for a reading journal. My older sister also keeps a reading journal, but hers is nice and simple. She keeps a list in the front of the books that she has read, and then we'll just write the book title, the author, and then some thoughts about the book. No decoration or faff, and this works for what she needs, and that really is the most important thing about journaling. My reading journal will, of course, be coming with me into 2026. However, I am testing out a new size, a traveller's notebook, which I set up in my last journaling video, so we will see how this new size goes. Next we have these two that work together, basically. The first here is my 5-year diary, and this chunky notebook next to it is my scrapbook. So before I transitioned into long form daily journaling, I kept 5-year diaries. This is my second one and also my second scrapbook. Let me just show you my last pair. As you can see, this diary is very battered, but it lasted me from 2018 to 2022. These diaries are very simple. Each page is a different day in the year. Then there is a space for you to write down some thoughts from each day for 5 years. So at the end of the year, you return to the start and begin again. The reason this worked with my scrapbook is because when an event happened, like a holiday or a day out, and I wanted to write more than just a few lines, I would do that in my scrapbook. And also keep any leaflets, tickets, pressed flowers, bits and bobs that I picked up and want to save. I continue this going into 2025, and in terms of my scrapbook, I have kept up with it and still love it. However, after I transitioned into long form daily journaling, I have found that I have fallen off the wagon with my 5-year diary. My job for today, actually, after finishing this, is to catch up on the days that I've missed, which I can easily do because I have my daily journal to copy it from. I will take this into 2026 simply because this diary goes from 2023 and will go until 2027. But once I've completed it, I'll have to see whether or not I buy another 5-year journal. However, I will say that I think 5-year diaries are perfect for people wanting to test out daily journaling, or who love the idea of having a journal for memory keeping, but are worried that having a full page is too much. It's only a couple of lines to fill out, which you can fit into your day with a cup of tea, and if you want to journal for memory keeping purposes, having a scrapbook that you can save photos and write more in is a good companion to a 5-year diary. Or if you solely want to memory keep, a good old-fashioned scrapbook is the way to go. I do plan to go for a bigger scrapbook, which this one is from Notebook Therapy, by the way, when this one is finished, as now I don't really use it so much for long form writing, but I do just love it. I love having a place for the stuff that I collect, It's so nice to look back through, and you can make it as colourful or as simple as you want. It's a place to have fun and look back on your precious memories. Moving on, we have 2 books that have also been with me throughout 2025, and whilst they aren't technically journals, they're so important to me that I wanted to include them as part of my ecosystem. These are my writing notebooks. For anyone new here, hello, I am Katie Kay. I am a debut author. My fantasy novel Red Witch is coming out in September 2026. The ebook is live for pre-orders. The print pre-order is coming very soon. So if you like fairy tale retellings and magic, do check out the links in the description. Shameless plug aside, I use these 2 notebooks religiously. When I have ideas I need to mind map, lists of things I need to get done, research I need to remember, it all goes into one of these. The notebook is the one I use the most, and you know what, it's just a lined notebook from Sainsbury's. The Filofax is something I still need to tidy up. I love having physical copies of things. I don't entirely trust digital, even though I use Notion a lot for planning out my writing. This Filofax is basically where I print off the pages I've done on my Notion, so I have physical copies of them. I also intend to add mood boards, and I have some drafts of Red Witch's cover that I want to put in, and yeah, there's a lot more I want to do with this Filofax, but I still need to work it out a bit more. Now the main event, and also the biggest change up in my journaling practice this year was that I got into daily journaling. It's honestly thanks to YouTube. I found the Common Corners videos and fell in love with journaling content. I then found Moonlit Journals and Megan Rhiannon, and yeah, I love the content they put out and I wanted to give daily journaling a try. I looked up a lot of different daily journals, but settled on the Moleskine 1 page a day journal. And for anyone new to this brand, no, the notebooks are not actually made from out of moleskin. I just thought I should make that clear, as the brand name is a little concerning. I picked this one originally because I knew I wanted to have a dated journal, as I thought it would keep me accountable, and this one was a reasonable price. I started daily journaling mid-year, so when I was looking into the different brands, the Hobonichis were so expensive, and some of the other daily journals were more like planners with like to-do lists and stuff, which wasn't what I needed them for. And I have no regrets. I really like the Moleskine journals. They work for me, and I've not missed a day of journaling since I started. I write a mix of things. It usually does include what I've done in that day, but it can also just be random thoughts and feelings I just want to get on paper. There's one entry that I love where I was just talking about how I was loving the music I was into at that moment. I kind of write down whatever I want. It's not neat, I sometimes add pictures, but usually I just write. I never thought I would be able to daily journal. I used to forget to do my 5-year diary, and that was just a few lines. But I think that it's because I hadn't worked out how to properly fit it into my day. I was asked in the comments of one of my previous videos for tips on how to stay regular with journaling, and what worked for me was, rather than trying to make time to journal, I fitted my journaling into the time I already had. I'll explain how I started to show you what I mean. So I'm a writer, I work from home, and after dinner I will always make myself a cup of tea, and then I would return to my desk to work. I used to write all afternoon and into the evening and late at night. Not very healthy, and I have changed that up now, but when I first started daily journaling, this was my routine. So before I got back to writing, and as I was having my cuppa, I tended to watch a YouTube video. This was like a planned break in my routine that I had already established. So I made it so that I would also journal in this time. I wasn't trying to add a new break into my day to journal, rather I just used the one I had. And this really worked. Then when I changed up my writing routine so that I wasn't working until stupidly late at night, I made it so the first thing I did when I sat down to rest in the evening was pick up my journal. And now I don't really think about it too much. It's become a habit and a comfort to write in my journal, so I don't reach for it with having to be like, I do my journaling at this time. But I do think setting that kind of time and making it part of the routine you already have really does help with staying consistent. You might find that time being with your morning coffee or tea, or when you first get in from work, or as you have your lunch break. Try looking into your day and seeing where you have breaks or moments when journaling, even just a line of the day, could fit into it. I will be continuing daily journal into 2026, but as I am filming this video, I don't actually know which of the Moleskine daily journals I will be using. I will be using a Moleskine again as I really got on with it. Oh, I didn't mention that on days when I ended up writing a lot or days when I want more than one page, I keep trimmed Filofax paper in the back pocket that I stick in, and I have found that this has really worked and hasn't bulked up my book too much. I also write quite small when I have a lot to say, and between the two I've not struggled with the 1 page a day setup. Anyway, yes, I don't know which journal I am going to be using as I have left it up to fate, aka my sister, who said she would get me my next journal for Christmas, which is very lovely of her. I gave her a choice between 3 different covers, the blue one which would match this, the lilac, and also the bright green Snoopy collaboration cover that Moleskine has done. No idea which one I'll get, which is a bit exciting. I just hope that she does actually get me a journal, otherwise I will be having a mad dash to order to get one before New Year. This video will actually go live on New Year's Eve, so if I remember I will comment below which one I ended up with. I have 2 more journals left to share, and I'm going to show you them in kind of the wrong order in terms of which one I started with. So this 8-month weekly Moleskine was actually the last one I added to my collection. This one isn't really a journal if we classify journals as more memory keeping and creative. It is more instead a planner. I use this mostly for work. It is how I keep on top of my weekly tasks, my schedule basically. I used to just use notebooks and sticky notes for this, but I needed something more structured for Red Witch stuff. My novel is the main reason I went for this 8-month planner. It began in September 2025 and goes to December 2026. And Red Witch was officially announced the 30th of September this year, a year ahead of release. So with this planner I can work out the release schedule, also all the social media marketing that I have to do, note down when I have to have edits back for my editor and publisher and that kind of stuff. It also just helps me with scheduling YouTube stuff too, but I did get it for Red Witch and I literally picked the colour to match. We are ending on a fun one. This is my media log. It's basically where I keep a track of the movies and shows that I have watched. I'm also planning to add in a bit of a music wrap-up of artists that I got into this year, but I haven't done that just yet. I have had this notebook for a very long time. I got it and decorated it with the hope that it would become my bullet journal, but I found that bullet journaling didn't really work for me. Having to create the spreads meant that I just wouldn't do it. And then I think I tested this book also as a scrapbook and a few other things before kind of abandoning it. I used to keep track of the films and shows that I watched on Notion, and then I just thought, why not keep a physical copy? When I was looking through my notebooks, I found this one with its decorated cover and it has the Your Name poster, and I just thought, let's use this. Because it's plain paper, I don't love it, but I love what it is used for, and I'm happy to keep using it and to take it into next year and just beyond. This journal definitely needs some work. There are bits that I have left undecorated and I want to write some more long form reviews, but I like it and I am planning to make some videos on this journal as I tidy it up this year. And that is it. That is my entire journaling ecosystem. Before I end this video, I do want to stress that I am a journal lover, and just because I use all of these journals, that doesn't mean that you should be doing it too. I've seen some really cool journals and planners that others have created where it's just a single journal that covers all the things that I have mentioned. Just use one if that suits you, or use none if not, it just don't work. When it comes to creating your own ecosystem, think about what you want to use your journal for. Is it for memory keeping or planning? Is it for a particular interest or for daily life? Start simple. You don't have to create a collection of journals all from the off. And journaling doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be done daily. You can get undated journals, nor does it have to be full page. The 5-year diaries might be the best fit for you, or a weekly planner which you could use both to schedule and to memory keep. And it's also very important, especially this time of year, when there is a lot of journaling content about, to remember that you don't need a branded journal. If you like the big brand setup and pages, then sure, go for it, but don't feel like you have to have a set brand to be a journaler. My reading journal was £3 from Flying Tiger and I adore it. My daily journal cost me £13 in an Amazon price drop. You know, journaling doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. You don't need to decorate your journals or make it fancy. Your journal is yours. Journal how you want to and in a way that works for you. And don't be afraid to give it a go. If you want to journal, then just go for it. Use a notebook you already have and just start. It's such a comforting hobby. It doesn't have to be perfect and you can change it up as much as you want to as you go. But you need to get going first. With that, we reach the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I've had a lot of fun filming this. Please do like, subscribe and leave a comment. If you'd like to comment but don't know what to put, then please leave a notebook emoji to let me know you enjoyed until the end. Until next time, my lovely friends.